So, I wanted to come on here and talk about something real quickly. And that is about the fact that there has been a speculative rumor going around that Elon Musk is in the running, if you will, to potentially buy Google and by extension YouTube. Now, I know some people might feel like that's just a bunch of he say, she say, and that's probably true, but you've had numerous reports come out that he's kind of thrown his name into the hat several times as a potential considered buyer, if you will, someone that's willing to fork over the money and make it happen. But if that does occur, what would be the end result? What would happen to Google as itself? Well, Google as a search engine, I think, might see little change. And whatever change it will see is to ensure maybe there's not such a, I guess you could say, bias, um, bias reporting, or I guess you could say, such abusive use of, lies and, you know, false theories and all that false news going around. My assumption is he would ensure, whether you trust the guy or not, to make sure that whatever Google is searched for doesn't lead somebody to a false website or a false news report or an article by a notable news network that might seem like it's showing bias towards one individual over the other. So I could see notable changes like that happening in the future if Elon was to you know get control of Google, if he was to be the one to get it. But then what about something like YouTube? Well, YouTube, I should say, I think YouTube would mostly remain ineffective. And, well, not ineffective, mostly unaffected is the word I'm trying to find. But yeah, they would remain mostly unaffected. And I think the reason for that would be that, Elon being a millionaire, trillionaire, wherever he is, billionaire himself, will notice that YouTube, is succeeding in many ways with partnerships and everything, here and there, with a major foothold, if you will, in the entertainment media housing of Hollywood. So he would probably just leave it as it is, you know, for most of the time. The only changes I think I could see would be internally. And what I mean by internally is I could see something along the lines of less restrictions on what could be posted and uploaded to YouTube. I could see, less copyrights, claims and strikes being issued, if he takes, control, if he takes the reins. And why do I say that? Well, obviously everybody believes and says he's a front-running supporter for, someone by the initials DT, especially when it comes to being the next POUTS, if you will, or POTUS, if you will, POTUS. Everybody looks at him as being one of the major front-running supporters for that individual, and because of that, he might take inspiration from other outlets that are out there. You can't tell me that he doesn't know of, by talking with someone like DT and others around him, that he's not aware that there are other video uploading sites that seem to be more, I guess you could say, for the other side, but also for the other side, but also more neutral. Sites like Rumble, which I'm on, and Odyssey. That's ODYSEE, ODYSEE, Odyssey, which I'm on now. You can find me there. Um, but they probably look at sites. He's probably told about sites like that, and he might look at the fact that, hey, I'll leave YouTube mostly like it is, but the few things I'm going to change is I'm going to make sure, people could say what they want to say, you know, without any, issues or, anything being blocked, or being limited as far as monetization goes. I could also see him, like I said, lessening the restrictions on copyright, basically making sure that, let's say you upload a video with music in it, that, you'll be able to make, money off that and not have to worry about somebody coming after you and claiming that video and monetizing it for themselves, or sharing that monetization, or even striking you down because, oh, it's not, you didn't have the right to do that. I think he'd be able. I think he would probably find a way to change that up because, from his point of view, I don't know the man personally, but from what we can tell, from his point of view, he's more along the lines of, hey, it's all fair use. These people are not doing anything wrong. Let them say what they want to say, and that's about it. And I could see that. I could see that happening. Let them say what they want to say. Let them upload what they want to upload. They're doing nothing wrong. It's all in fair use. So I could see Elon doing things like that with YouTube. Like most of the YouTube, system you see now would remain intact. But some of the things that he might change is to lessen the restrictions and lessen the copyrights on videos and channels, so that everybody has a fair shake. I mean, I know people criticize the fact that, he's running Twitter now and he's rebranded it to X, and there is that fear he could do the same thing to YouTube. But I think what he did with Twitter, because here's the thing, it might be viewed as X, but you could still go to Twitter. You could still go to twitter.com and it'll take you to it, and everybody still refers to it as Twitter. All he did was just change the branding of the site to X, and that's it. And a lot of people would say that that's the first major step he needs to take in basically ridding Twitter of the old regime that ran it, as well as rid the old reputation it has and place it with a new one that's more in favor of those that want to, just say what they want to say, and even make money off it, because now you can monetize. Now you can monetize, and also, if you're willing to pay a monthly subscription, go out and be able to, tweet as long as you want, and not be limited. I mean, the previous regime, let's be honest, that ran Twitter didn't allow that, as far as I know, and now this guy's in charge and he's allowing it to happen. So there are some positives, and yes, there are negatives to whenever he takes over something. And if he takes something over like Google and by extension YouTube, yeah, there could be some positive change, like what I've mentioned, but something that I think he would consider. Not saying he would. He might purchase Google and YouTube and leave them as they are, but after seeing what he's done with Twitter, I think that would be probably a wet person's dream, if you will, for him to keep things as they are with Google and the YT. But yeah, I could see Elon Musk, if he was to potentially down the line purchase Google and by extension YouTube, I can see him making these kind of changes. But what about you? Let me know what your thoughts on